too many times that I've had to put this on to go and milk. It's just a wee bit wet this morning. However, good morning. Hopefully it is drier where you are than it is here. It's just teeming down, just constant rain all morning. There were some big heavy showers that came through last night. I think I woke up at about 2 o'clock and it was just heaving, and it sort of hasn't really let up. Just incredibly wet. My grandfather, he's English, he's a Northumbrian, and he always says that we follow the UK weather patterns. We always follow theirs, and you guys had a pretty hard spring as I remember, so maybe it's true. Come on, one more. Come on, that's up, push up, push up. The reason I chucked my raincoat on is obviously when I'm milking, I'm under cover there, but it was actually getting blowing in the back. So I just decided to put it on because I've got to come out and push these cows up, and I didn't want to get too wet, or it's your shoulders that get wet and it gets a little bit annoying. Come on girls, up you go. Drafted another cow out today, that is number 20. So I inseminated her daughter the other day, 126. And I actually got her other daughter yesterday, but she's on heat now, so I'm going to chuck some sex semen in her later on this afternoon. It's not her optimal time yet. Today's Monday, which is I think the 6th, and we don't just start mating till the 10th, which is Thursday, this Thursday, and then the heifers are on Friday the 11th. So we're not far away from the start. And this morning I'm just going through my cows and marking them all that I've got to draft out tomorrow. Briar's coming tomorrow to scan them, just the anestrus ones. I've got 20 on my list, and I'm just going through it and marking them so it makes it a little bit easier to draft them out tomorrow. There's only one in there. Hopefully it stays on. This stuff is absolute junk. Dad grabbed the wrong stuff. Usually I get Telltale, which is quite good, and this Uddermark. Same brand, it's just, I don't know, this stuff's junk, it rubs off real easy. That Telltale's the best. It's actually quite a hard case. I mean, New Zealand's not known for its Navy or its Air Force. We do have a few ships and a few planes. Actually, we just got some new Poseidon planes. However, yesterday I think it was, one of our Navy ships run aground somewhere in the islands, Fiji or Samoa, somewhere over there, and caught fire. So I think we might have had 4 ships and now we're down to 3. Yeah, a little bit hard case. Someone's getting the DCM and it's not the medal. She can just wait in there for the day. That rain's eased up, so I've lost my jacket. It's getting pretty warm in it. Last row. You need to push up one, come on. There we go. Around a little bit more. This miracle bar has been absolutely awesome. If I've got a full row like I do here, I just put up the chain because it's just easy to drop. You don't have to get up and move the bar before the next cows can go in. You can just drop it and then they walk straight in. But if I've got not a full row, like over here, you can chuck the bar up and it's perfect. So perfect, in fact, that I've got another one. And that mat is wet, I just got a wet sock. This is how they come, just in the courier like this. They're real quick to get delivered. Cut that away. And that is the bit that goes, oh, I've got to remember how it goes. One of them goes there. And then this bit, let's go in there. I think it goes like that. That's pretty much it. I've got to find a big set of pliers to put these pins in and just double check that this is the right way. I actually feel like it might go backwards and it might go that way. Like that. Is it? Or does that go like that? I'll wait till I get to the cow shed, just double check, make sure it's the same as the other one. These are actually made fairly local, not in the Waikato, but down in Taranaki at, I think it's called Herworth Engineering make them, but if you look up Miracle Bar on the internet, you'll be able to find one. They're seriously good though, highly recommended. My cows are just in behind the trees here in this paddock. You can sort of just see them through there. So it's nice and sheltered there, out of the wind. But there's actually quite a bit of flooding through there from overnight. That wasn't like that yesterday. Most of that water had sort of dissipated back. But yeah, it's come up again now. I'm not sure how much we've had, but it must be close to, if not about an inch. It's not raining now, and it wasn't when we finished milking, so I went and loaded up the mixer wagon, got all that done, because it's not a day where I want to be outside, so get the crucial jobs done. However, because mating is upon me though, I haven't sort of been through what bulls I'm using this year, so I thought it might be a good chance to sort of sit down and just have a quick little look. These are the 4 main brochures here, so we've got LIC, CRV, they're the 2 sort of big ones, I guess, or New Zealand genetics, and then there's Jersey Future, which is sort of a joint venture with LIC, and then Salmon, I'm using a few of theirs, but yeah, maybe I'll start with the Salmon catalogue. That nice Jersey bull on the front there. Let's go through, and this achievement here, this is one that LIC didn't want for some reason. That's what I'm led to believe. So Salmon are marketing it, and I've got a few straws from him, and then he has a son which is called Freedom, and I've got a few for him as well. So I've got 2 of these, plus something a little bit different, because I like doing that, and it'll keep you Aussies happy. I'm using a couple of bulls from over there. So I've got this Impeccable and also Roulette. So I haven't got many straws, I think I got 6 from each, and the reason I sort of wanted to use them was just the udders are really good. They've got really good udder overalls, so I'm going to try these and see how I get on. I'm sort of thinking I'll only get maybe sort of 3 to 5 heifer calves from those 2 bulls out of the 12 straws. So yeah, we'll say 7 or 8 of them got in calf and half that. So yeah, 3 or 4 heifers, and I'd like to keep them sort of Australian genetics, I think, or Australian or overseas, and just see how they go. Probably Australian, I think. Just the way I want to go. Looking quite far ahead though, because these calves aren't going to be born till next year, plus another 2 years before they calve as heifers, and then you sort of don't know how they're going to go until we get huge results from that first season, and then they might do better after a heifer. So you're sort of looking at like 4 to 5 years time, but if I get a few, or a handful, that I can just keep offshore genetics in them, I don't know, it could be interesting. We'll see how they go. It's a very long-term plan. Actually, I do have, I think, I'll have to check it out, but I think I've got about 5 or 6 heifers this year which were from offshore genetics. Maybe it's not quite that many, maybe it's 4 or 5. So what I could do is probably put these Aussie bulls or Aussie semen into them, and it's maybe a good place to start. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. That's probably not a bad idea. So that's Salmon done. Go with CRV, and I'm only using 2 of their bulls, or is it 3 maybe? 3. So I'm using this Carrick Charnock, and it's quite cool to look. These have, or this cow in the picture here is from Ramsey Dairies down in Southland. Also down here too. I know that they like to watch these videos, so that's quite cool. Big shout out to them. Nice looking cows. So we'll give that one a go. We're going with Guardsman. He's quite new, yeah, 323, so a bit of a new one. And also the other one I'm getting is, the good thing about this book is that these bulls are in order by their names, alphabetical order. I can't even remember what it was called though, that's the problem. Oh, Sherlock. So I've got 8 straws sexed from him, and I've got another 10 straws as well. I think I've used 4 of the 6 straws already, and number 20 will be 5. Then I've got 3 left, so yeah, it'll be good to get them done by Thursday. I did 2 yesterday. That daughter, one of the daughters, 185 from 20, there's a lot of numbers there. It was her first cycle, but I thought, I'd rather risk it. Most of these cows that I am putting the sex into, it's their 2nd or 3rd cycle, so they've had a couple. It's sort of the optimal thing to do. But I thought, I'm ready to risk it. Like, it's a good cow. There is a chance of it holding, and we get it in the optimal time, which it was, then we'll see what happens. I don't expect her to hold, but it'd be nice if she did. Move on to the Jersey Future one. And these bulls are all genomic. So it's a little bit of a guess, or not a guess, but it's a little bit of a gamble. And if you get all 9 bulls, there's 9 bulls in this catalogue here, they're $12 a straw, and if you get them individually, it's $15 or $14.50. So last year, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think if you got all 9 of them, it was like $6 a straw, and if you got or individually selected, it was like $9. So it has gone up a little bit, but it's still far cheaper compared to you're looking at $31 a straw for the Sherlock, so that's half the, or less than half the price, and the Sext is $60 for this one, so double. But I think it's pretty good value. But there's, so we'll go through them. Where's the first one? Boulder from the Glanton stud. I think that Glanton stud actually got sold. Boulder is one of the last Glanton prefix bulls offered to Jersey Future. There we go. An end of an era for the great stud of Robin Allison Thwaite. And I actually used his half brother Burton last year. I've got a few calves by him. So using him, then Bushwhacker, Buzzybrook Bushwhacker. That's a stunning looking cow there, isn't it? Beautiful. I think that's the, oh, that's the dam. So using him, he sounds pretty good. And then Okura Luga. So I've picked 3 out of here. There's a lot of good ones in here. Like all these are actually pretty good. I just picked the ones that I liked. I did think about using Havana. Yeah, Havana. And then actually at the back here, these are all the bulls that have gone on from Jersey Future and made it into the LIC team. We might as well move on to there now. Jersey, the green section, so it's the green section in there too. I don't think they're coloured in the sun. Look, are they? Or maybe they are. Oh yeah, green in there too. So that's easy to find. So the genomic bulls are always at the front. And this year, I've picked 6 genomic ones and 3 daughter proven. The pack that I picked, you've got to pick 6 genomic and then 3 daughter proven bulls. I think that makes the straw price a little bit cheaper. I'm not sure what that pack's called. Might be called the Alpha pack or just nominated. I'm not sure, but that's, yeah, that's what I do. I've gone with Bravado, and see, he's a Jersey Future bull. I actually used him last year, and he's made it through to the, or this genomic team, which is quite cool to see. I also used Tiana last year. He was in the Future program too, so I've, oh actually, we'll go back one. 322, so he was actually 2 years ago in the Jersey Future team. But last year I used Tiana, so it's quite cool to see these bulls in here come into here. I used 5 last year, so that was one of them. I used Frenzy, see that was a Jersey Future one from last year, so that's made it through. I picked Claire, Frenzy, Zazu. It's a bit of an out of it name there, isn't it? There's, oh, see, there's that bird in there, which was that half brother, and that's come through too. So I actually did quite well because 3 out of those 5 bulls from last year made it through to the genomic team. So I actually did quite good picking, if I don't say so myself. That's the last of the genomic bull I think I'm using there, Lonic. So Brisbane, I quite like that bull, Brisbane, and that's the father of that one. I think there's actually 2 in here which are by Brisbane. See, the father's always in front of its name. Yeah, Brisbane, Frenzy. And then Titus, that was also quite a nice bull too. So that's that. I should probably mention too, the way that I pick them is I go through and I don't really worry about the BW, that's not a big thing for me, but I want a few things when I'm picking them, and that is I look at the udder overall. So right there, that's got to be sort of better than the average, so anywhere around 0.4 onwards is good, so that one's quite good, 0.94. And then I also want udder support to be fairly good, so that one's probably better than average, or a lot better than average. And then rump width, I'd like to have a positive width, but that one hasn't. So it's pretty hard to find all these traits you're looking for to be where you want them. Like there's a bit of give and take. Hopefully that makes sense. And then if we go to capacity, I like to see big capacity, so 0.67, that's better than the average. So if you go across to here, see capacity there's 0.6. Stature, it's always going to be on the downside for jerseys, but a cow like this one here, Frenzy, which I've picked, its stature's minus 0.28, so that means the cow's a little bit bigger than these ones. I also like to see a plus for fertility. It's not something I'm too worried about now because I think my herd's got pretty good fertility, but I'd like to see a plus. I also like to see gestation length in the minus. See, look at this one over here, Frenzy. It's got minus 4.5 days, which just means that the average cow's gestation length, oh, that's a mouthful, is here. So she calves 4.5 days earlier. Well, that's the bull. So the bull calves 4.5 days earlier than the average. But then if the cow was bang on the average, then it'd be like 2 days because it's a combination of them both. I actually also look for body condition score. I'd like that to be a plus. I don't like that to be minus. So that one's this Frenzy. See, she's actually quite good. Good milk, plus body condition score. Fertility 10.3%. That's really high. Its udder overall's only 0.42, so it's sort of on the average side, but not bad. It's definitely not bad. Gestation length 4.5. Rump width plus 0.1. That's good. I like to see that. Good capacity 0.69. So on a whole, that's why I picked her. And there's, like I said, a lot of give and take. You're not going to find everything that suits you, and everyone looks for sort of something that's a little bit different as well, but this is just what I go on. Then on to the daughter proven bulls. I should say too that the difference between Genomic and daughter proven is that Genomic bulls are good on paper, and they're saying, well, we'll take the parents and this is what they should be this good. Whereas these daughter proven ones have daughters out there milking, and they can say, well, this is what this bull's produced. We've got all this data from it, like live data, or not live data, but we've got all this data from all these daughters that it's had already, whereas the other ones are just on paper. So it's a lot safer to go daughter proven, but then you don't get the sort of gains like you do with the genomics. It's a bit of a gamble. You get good ones and you get bad ones. Although I'd like to think the more we go, the more accurate it's getting. So I'm using Luca, which I think I used him last year. Berkeley, I used him, so I'm using him again. And I've changed my third one, which is this Montage. So he's a genomic graduate. So a lot of these bulls that are in the genomic section will not make it to here. Once the proofs come in from the daughters, they'll say, oh no, these bulls aren't good enough, and they just won't make it this next year. They've got to be pretty good to make it into this section. So like a bull like this, Montage, fertility, 2%. Generally they're sort of more accurate, and the figures aren't quite so high, I guess. So yeah, fertility 2%, which is positive, that's good. Milk volume in the plus, that's good. Udder overall 0.4, that's better than average, that's good. Body condition score, good, almost 0.2. What else did I say I looked at? Rump width, so it's got a -1, but it's got big capacity, almost 0.9. So like I was saying though, give, take. And that's that one done. So those are all the bulls that I have picked, and I've actually got all these bulls that are in the tank from last year too. Some of them, like this Magnify, there's only 2 straws, so I'll try and use these maybe over the heifers. It's quite a hard case, this Lincoln, Glenui Zambezi Lincoln, this one right here. It's actually not in the catalogue this year, but I think its proof's just come out, and it's actually turned out to be a really good bull, like BW wise. So I'd say if you're in the forward pack, you'll be getting it. They'll be pulling straws from him and giving them out there to people because he's doing quite well. But it's quite handy that I've got him in the bank. I've actually got 9 straws by him, so he's quite a good bull. I'll probably put him over the heifers, or I'll use those 9 straws and put them over the heifers. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. I actually forgot one thing too, that in the back of this is the beef section. So last year I tried the short gestation Angus, and which is here, Angus, but Oh, no choice, short gestation. So that's what I tried, whereas this year I haven't got any of that, and I've gone to Charolais, which seems to be the flavour of the month at the moment. So I've gone to this Milestone, I think it is. Yeah, Carcahoo Milestone. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I'm a little bit sceptical on how they're going to carve, but people say that they generally carve pretty well. So hopefully it goes all right. It's got a gestation length that's short, or minus 7.2 days, which is good too. It just makes the calf just that little bit smaller and easier on the cows. But yeah, next year I think I'll probably get, there is another company out there from New Zealand. It's just been started up. It's called Genes NZ, and they do quite good Charolais, or I think they do quite good Charolais straws. They put a lot of research and time into that. So I'll probably get them next year, I think. I was looking at it this year, but I'd already ordered this. Hopefully the rain's blew through. There's a little bit of blue sky around. This rain gauge looks fairly full. Oh, it's about 125 mils. That is not all from today or overnight. There must have been about 80 in there, maybe 85. So we must have had a good, I don't know, at least 30 mils, 30 or 40 mils overnight. Must have been a fair bit, because yeah, for all that flooding to happen. It's actually quite nice when the sun comes out. Incredibly windy though. I must apologise to our Royal Navy. They don't have 4 ships, which is what I thought they said on the radio. They have, I think, 9 operational sort of, I wouldn't call them warships. We have a couple of frigates, and most of them are sort of transporting vessels. Yep, that's right. Rubber goes on the inside. Just sit there nice and tidy, and that is beautiful. One for each side. But that'll pretty much wrap things up, guys. Hopefully some of you might have found it interesting around the whole bulls. If there are any other Jersey farmers out there, let me know what bulls you're excited for this season. Hopefully we might have, or pick some of the same anyway. But see you next time.